we got some Pokemon Legends ZA rumors this week. Nintendo's Switch 2 Direct next week has now sparked another set of rumors for a totally separate Nintendo Direct at this week. And there's some other stuff going on in the gaming world. But let's just jump in with some updates on Hollow Knight Silksong. Welcome back to the game news, everybody. If you guys have been a fan of Hollow Knight or even know what Hollow Knight is, there's a sequel that's been in development for a while called Silksong, and a Steam listing update is making people speculate that the game is actually coming out sooner rather than later. Supposedly it supports GeForce Now, and then they changes the copyright date from 2019 to 2025. So that's neat. This is like a real nothing update, but people are so starved for news on this game that literally anything. We talked about it a few weeks ago where a dev was like, yeah, we're still working on it. And so here we are a few weeks later, and it's like, hey, the Steam listing updated, and everybody's getting excited, but it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean much. But hopefully Silksong is coming out soon, and we won't get Duke Nukem forever with this game. Doubt it. The team at Team Cherry is talented devs. They have a great IP on their hands. They've made a great game. Anywho, let's jump to the next topic. All right, we got a release date for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, PS5, April 17th. There's not really much more to say there, except that we knew it was coming to PS5 sometime this spring, and that's all we knew until literally yesterday they announced the release date. So good way to start the week. PS5 fans rejoice. There is a collector's or special edition, deluxe edition, that has 2 days of early access for a game that's been out since last year on PC and Xbox. So PS5 fans rejoice. You get to check out Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I hear is pretty good. I haven't played it yet. I need to find time to play it, but we're not there. All right, let's continue on down the path. Random bit of news here. Game Informer's officially back, former staff and Iconic Magazine included. Everyone give a warm welcome to the kind of new Game Informer. This is courtesy of GameSpot, Jessica Cogswell. This happened literally like a few hours ago. Let's read the article. Following its sudden closure in August 2024, long-running video game magazine Game Informer is officially back. The staff announced the news earlier today in an official blog post, writing, "The whole team has returned, and we can't wait to connect with you again." In the same post, Game Informer editor-in-chief Matt Miller went on to explain that the outlet was given a new lease on life following its acquisition by game studio Gunzilla. Furthermore, Gunzilla also rehired the entire team of folks working at Game Informer prior to its closure. Miller stated that because of this rehiring, the team is confident that they can maintain an unbroken identity of who we are and what we represent. Gunzilla is currently working on upcoming Battle Royale game Off the Grid, reportedly assured Game Informer staff that the company will operate independently of the studio with 100% of the decisions around what we cover and how we do so. Coming from the site's editorial team, according... I got screwed up on the reading there. Anyway, according to Miller, Gunzilla Games sees the same potential in Game Informer as our team does, and their encouragement to do so ethically and free of outside pressure is laudable, which is great. In addition, Game Informer's website, which already includes many years of back content in addition to new posts and reviews of games that released while the site was shuttered, the outlet has confirmed that its print magazine is returning as well. Hold on. In addition to Game Informer's website, which already includes many years... Okay, so the website's back up. I misread that sentence. While the site was shuttered, the outlet confirmed that its print magazine is returning as well. Miller said the company's intent to bring back the magazine bigger and better than it was before and add a host of membership and subscription benefits, including an expanded scope to our videos, streaming, and feature coverage, while also broadening the range of experts and partnerships we tap to bring you those perspectives. Miller ended the blog post by stating that additional information regarding membership and subscription options is coming, and encouraged those interested to create a new Game Informer account to stay up to date on details. Prior to its closure last August, Game Informer was one of the largest running video game outlets in North America, having launched in 1991. The company was shut down by former parent company GameStop, the video game store, not us. That's funny because GameSpot, there's like 2 letters off, in a decision that reportedly surprised its entire staff as they were currently 70% done with the outlet's next issue. So it's cool. I guess it remains to be seen if they can survive. Hopefully they put out some good stuff. But I guess we'll find out in the end. I don't really know. I don't know what to make of that. But cool. I hope it does well. And they land on their feet, I guess. It's just kind of weird and random. But hey, now GameStop won't try to sell you the magazine every time you go pre-order a game. Because, you only go to GameStop to pre-order games. Am I right? Hey. Anyway. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, I thought this was cool. It's on Games Radar. Jordan Gerblick reported this. AstroBot director says precisely what the industry needs to hear. It's okay to make a small game because players today have a backlog of games they can't complete. Let's see. Let's go on. The adorable picture. Following its Game of the Year win at last year's Game Awards, AstroBot just took home another award, this time for having a director that's saying exactly what the video game industry needs to hear right now. Yes, I made up the award. Fair enough. Speaking during a GDC Game Developers Conference panel that Games Radar Plus attended, Team Sobi studio head Nicholas Doucet, I don't know, said the goal at the outset of making AstroBot was to make a game that could be finished in a reasonable amount of time. It's true. I haven't finished it, but it is a very quick play. I can go, all right, I'm going to work on this world. So I like that. That I totally feel the vibe that they were trying to, lay down there. From the start, we were in the mindset that it's okay to make a compact game. It's okay to make a small game. So for us, it means that we're making something of such scale that we can control it fully. That's from a development standpoint. But not only that, for the players, we all know that players today have a backlog of games and cannot complete their games. So the prospect of a game you can actually complete is a really persuasive argument. Sold. Persuasive indeed. Doucet is so persuasive that I think I'll go ahead and do another AstroBot run instead of playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's not true, but the point is there are too many Assassin's Creed Shadows sized games, and I'm at the point where I'm begging for mercy. My backlog can't take another massive RPG. It'll crumble under its own mighty weight. Anyway, yes, please make more small games, people. Even if my personal pleas are falling on unsympathetic ears. Remember that AstroBot is a small game, and it won Game of the Year. You can do it too. So, yes, I think this is very true. Smaller games would be easier for them to put out, first of all. And secondly, I really think that the entire industry would benefit if devs were working on smaller projects that they could more tightly control and put out with more thought and effort put into it. That's just a personal thing. I think that's totally reasonable. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments or in chat what you think. But I would love some smaller games. That's why I think Tunic was so appealing. It's a smaller game. I had a lot of fun playing it. I felt like I made progress in a short amount of time when I played it in small bursts. I think that made that game so great. And AstroBot's the same way. I could sit there and play it for 30 minutes and it's great. I feel like I'm making meaningful progress where I was going. Anyway, all right, let's not ramble. Next topic. I thought this was interesting. This happened last week. Xbox app update will show your Steam and Epic games. Microsoft has since removed the image of the UI. This on GameSpot. George Yang on March 21st. Microsoft has recently revealed a UI mockup for Xbox that shows what games players own across a variety of devices and storefronts, including Steam. Spotted by The Verge, Microsoft posted a new blog post that had a picture of the proposed UI, but it subsequently removed. In the picture, you can see games like Diablo 4 and Microsoft Flight Sim in the recently added in the UI. However, you can also see the Steam and Game Pass tabs, indicating you'll be able to see sort games based on which platform you purchase them on. You'll be able to sort games based on which platform you purchase them on. Seems like the UI is just a mock-up for now, as the owned and action adventure tabs are listed twice. The blog post is about how Xbox is trying to reach a larger audience as younger generations regularly switch between platforms and expect seamless integration. Hey, I'm not a younger generation, and I expect seamless integration when I play a game across multiple platforms. Fortnite does it really well. Apex eventually got it. Apex Legends eventually got it. I wish Marvel Rivals had it. Overwatch does it. I can play on PlayStation, PC, or Xbox. It's my same profile everywhere I go. I appreciate that. Let's see. Microsoft is also reportedly working on an Xbox handheld. Oh yeah, we talked about that. And there's the picture. It really, well, the UI is going to be in the way. Use my keyboard. Anyway, you can kind of see it here. Steam. Microsoft's on record saying that, well, I guess Phil Spencer's on record saying that they'd like to have Steam and Epic Game Store on the Xbox. So there's that aspect of it. But I think by and large, a mock-up UI doesn't mean a whole lot, but hopefully, with the direction they're going with the handheld, that's, supposed to be heavily integrating Xbox's like UI and philosophy and all that, we can see the end goal there. And I think that's what Microsoft was trying to convey with this mock-up image is, hey, we want you to be able to access all of your games through our stuff. We want to track all your metrics, and we want all your data to go through our servers first before they go to Steam and Epic and everywhere else. We're going to capture that. But hey, you'll get to play games. That's important. I wouldn't mind a combined launcher front end for all of this, because I hate having to figure out which app do I need to launch to play whatever game, because they're all in the same stores. There's very few exclusives now, and I have to go, is this a GOG game? Is this a Ubisoft game? Like, I don't remember anymore. I don't remember where I get games. There are just too many of them on PC. Too many launchers. I miss when Steam was the launcher. Anyway, let's move on. All right, I thought this was interesting. Persona 4 remake announcement looking likely after domain discovered. That's from Insider Gaming. Andrew Heighton wrote the article. History looks to be repeating itself as a recently registered domain name suggests Persona 4 Reload is on the way. And this is more than likely a remake from the ground up of 2008's Persona 4. Persona remakes have been creeping out over recent years, but it makes complete sense if you're Atlas. The series has sold millions of copies, and its popularity continues to rise. This is why Persona 3 received a remake in 2024 with Persona 3 Reload. Now, a year later, a domain name suggests Persona 4 Reload is on its way. It could be announced soon. And so this is, we'll get to the thing, is a guy posted, P4RE.jp was registered a few hours ago. 2 years ago, P3RE.jp was registered. 3 months later, Persona 3 Reload was revealed. So, cool. It's neat that it was registered. It doesn't mean a whole lot. It's a rumor. Maybe they're just buying the domain to keep people from squatting on it, because that's a real thing that happens. But cool that it was registered, and hopefully, if we get a Persona 4 remake, I'll probably replay it. I didn't beat it. I played it on the Vita. That's where I played Persona 4 and never finished it. It was pretty cool though. All right, anyway, let's move on. I don't finish games. Like I don't just have a big backlog of games. I have a backlog of unfinished games. So let's move on. All right, Pokemon news. Pokemon Legends ZA will allegedly introduce 27 new Mega Evolutions, leakers claim, and we can only hope Flygon gets its chance this time. It's from Catherine Lewis over on Games Radar Plus. Pokemon Legends ZA is finally bringing the fan favorite Mega Evolution mechanic back after it was originally left behind on the 3DS, and I'm excited. I like the Megas. I think Mega Evolution makes a lot more sense than Gigantamax and Terastallization just all put together. I think those two features were just a different label on what Mega Evolution was going for. Leakers are now claiming that a pretty massive number of new Megas will be joining the lineup. There's a multitude of reasons why Mega Evolutions are so popular and why the return is so exciting as a result. The powerful, temporary, evolved forms of certain Pokemon don't just look cool. They've given a number of underwhelming Mons a real opportunity. Don't abbreviate it. Just say Pokemon. It's a plural word. A real opportunity to shine in the past with buffed up stats, new abilities, and sometimes even new types. Occasionally, they've also been given to already powerful Pokemon to make them even more deadly. And hey, that's fun too. In Legends ZA's first gameplay trailer, a number of returning Megas were confirmed, including Absol, Altaria, Lucario, Charizard, both X and Y forms, and more. Now, though, leakers are hinting that as many as 27 new Mega Evolutions could be added in the upcoming RPG. The leaker, once known as Pioro, now the significantly less catchy EB576DCFE on Twitter, who has correctly leaked a lot of game information in the past, including about Nintendo games, today claims that thousands of people know the number of new Mega Evolutions now, but no one's willing to spill the beans. They follow this up with a more cryptic look at the key at the upper left corner of your keyboard. Verifying they mean a PC keyboard. we seem to be looking at the escape key, which notably isn't a number at all. However, it's not being taken long. It's not taken long for detectives to look deeper into this. The escape character can also be represented by the ASCII code 27. Just in case there was any doubt about Pioro's intentions here, they responded to the Pokemon Leak account at Centro Leaks, which reshared the 27 new Mega Evolutions claim, simply saying real. Do take this with a pinch of salt. It's a leak. So anyway, let's not redress that. It's just kind of fluff. Anyway, yeah, it's cool. I would expect new megas. No, I wouldn't expect anything less. You know, they're not. We'll go to the next article. It'll kind of support why I think that. But I would expect new mega evolutions. We've had a bunch of new Pokemon. It'd be great to see some new mega evolutions for, you know, older Pokemon that we wished had gotten them the first time around, or some of the newer Pokemon, just to see what they do with it. You know, I love Mega Evolution. I think it's the best mechanic that they introduced, and then they let it go away. And that was a silly move. They could have just kept doing Mega Evos along with the regional variants and such, and it would have been fine. I would have been fine with all of that. Anyway, all right, let's move on to our next topic here. Maybe. All right, and more Pokemon rumors. Pokemon Legends ZA reportedly not adding any new Pokemon. This is Insider Gaming from Andrew Hyten. Nintendo's long-awaited Legends ZA sequel is reportedly playing it safe by adding no new Pokemon. This may come as both a shock and disappointment to fans waiting to see what new species were going to be added to the ever-growing Pokedex. ZA sticking to current Pokedex. Reliable and regular Pokemon leaker Centro Leaks is back at it again. In a March 25th message on their X page, they said, Pokemon Legends ZA will not introduce any new Pokemon species. With 1,025 Pokemon registered in the total Pokedex, everyone was waiting with bated breath to see who ZA would add. News feels out of left field, more so when you consider that Legends Arceus at least added 7 fresh-faced Pokemon with an additional 2 variations on top of these. Alas, it isn't to be for Pokemon Legends ZA. It appears the RPG will use a mix of Mon from the previous several generations. There could always be a surprise or two, so we won't count our chickens just yet. Either way, it's not all doom and gloom, though. The return of Mega Evolutions is part of the recent Pokemon Legends ZA leaks. If this news isn't enough for you, check out Little 20. Okay, anyway, that's what we talked about earlier. But yeah, so that's why I think they would focus more on doing new Mega Evolutions if they're not bringing new Pokemon. Again, these are rumors, and we have no proof of what's actually going to happen here. But they're rumors. So with any good rumor, you know, all the grains of salt are needed here. I don't know, though. I feel like they could add in some, like, bonus stuff. You know, a 1 or 2 Pokemon that we wouldn't know, and they just don't know about them yet. They just haven't shared that info. I can't confirm that one way or the other. I really don't know. But I find it interesting, if true, that they wouldn't add anything new outside of new Mega Evos. And maybe that's the case. I don't know. I'm still looking forward to playing the game. I watched a lengthy video from Beat 'em Ups Wood about why do Pokemon games look as bad as they do, and I completely agreed with it. And then I'm sitting here like, you know, I'm still gonna buy the game, and that's how he ended the video. I can complain about all these things, I'm still buying the game, so you know, whatever, it's still gonna be fun, I hope. All right, let's move on. Here we go, something new. Insider Gaming again. Mike Straw writes, preview, Wildgate could be the multiplayer game of the year. Wildgate, a brand new first-person multiplayer game set in deep space, has officially been announced by Dreamhaven and Moonshot Games. Launching on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC sometime in 2025, Wildgate is a crew-based PvP VE game where you and a crew of 4 travel into the Reach with the sole mission of collecting the artifact and leaving through the Wildgate. Recently, I was invited to an invite-only playtest where I was able to try out the game and play alongside other members of the media as well as the game's developers. To sum everything up before diving into specifics, Wildgate is a game, neat, with immense potential to be the PvP VE game of the year. What exactly about the game stands out to make it feel that way, and should there be concern regarding reception? And we get a detailed preview. We'll watch the trailer. I have the trailer pulled up. That's the next thing we'll watch. Being the type of player I am, I skipped any playthrough of the tutorial and decided the best way to learn was to dive right into the Reach. Before getting into my experience, a quick overview of the general gameplay. The game features up to 20 players per match with 5 teams of 4 players each. That sounds cool. You play as a specific prospector who each has their own abilities and tools based on what you're looking for. There are also 5 types of ships to choose from, each specializing in something like speed, maneuverability, and maneuverability to protection and more. I don't... Okay, that sentence did not flow well, but okay. The games can take anywhere from 20 to 40 plus minutes depending on the crews and how everyone plays. You can either choose to find the artifact and escape, or win by destroying all the enemy ships who are hunting for the same thing. Each match features procedurally placed elements. Many of the space, rocks, and places of interest aren't procedurally generated in terms of design, but where they are located in a specific match will be. Now that you have the brief idea of each match, let's look at when you actually start playing. Quick decisions are key in Wildgate. The beginning of any match felt as important as any other moment. You have to decide as a group how you want to attack. Do you want to start exploring via probe ships and try to locate? Okay, I didn't realize how deep this article actually went. This seems cool. I want to watch the trailer more than anything. Anybody else want to watch the trailer? Let's watch the trailer. Put theater mode, hit play. Does this look cool? I like the art style so far. Looks great. This looks cool. Like, I don't... I like the ship designs. They look cool. A space game can pull me in with cool looking spaceships that I can fly. Nice. That looked cool. Sign up to playtest. Oh, we're gonna have to sign up. I definitely want to check that out. That looked like a lot of fun. Hopefully, I can find people to play with, and it's good. All right, let's get to our next topic. That looks good. GG's. All right, let's talk about this Nintendo Direct stuff and our last bit of, well, the major news for this week. New Nintendo Direct expected this week, it's claimed, from Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming. Just a week before the full Nintendo Switch 2 Direct event on April 2, Nintendo's expected to hold a separate event sometime this week. That's according to well-known leaker Nate the Hate, who is often accurate with these things, right? I'm not going to just deny that. In a post on social media on Monday, Nate said that he's heard there's a Nintendo presentation this week. He added that he believes it will be on or around Thursday and that it'll be a Direct. I'm not 100% on the format at present. Also unknown is what type of games will be shown during the event if it happens. Will it focus exclusively on games releasing for the current Nintendo Switch, or will Switch 2 games be teased or shown as well? So that's all we know, but people are running wild with this. It's gained so much traction, and obviously one of two things happens. Either the Direct is a real thing and it got leaked, or it's not real and people are just hyping things up and running with whatever news they're being given, because no news is being given. I think with the number of people I've seen talk about it, by the time this gets posted to YouTube, we'll have something concrete about a Direct, or we won't, because they'll announce it tomorrow morning, right about the time the game news goes up, and this will be a pointless article to have covered, except confirming or disproving the existence of the Direct. But if it is, what are they showing? Is it just going to be first-party titles? It would likely be Switch 1 confirmed games through, I guess, holiday, or up to the release of the Switch 2. And then next week, we'll get the full look at the Switch 2 Direct, which we will be doing a live react to here on the channel and all my other channels all at the same time. So be ready for that. All right, let's get to our last article here, because I feel like this Direct rumor is just the result of people being just so excited for news and not getting it, that they make stuff up and it just gets traction somehow. Let's go to the last article, which is exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 plans will have a 3-phase launch for games, which is interesting. Switch 2 will launch with a 3-phase plan, thanks to Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming. With Switch 2 just 1 week off from its official full reveal, this year's annual GDC was buzzing with talk around the future of the console. One such discussion was around Nintendo Switch 2 launch date, which according to people that I spoke to at the event falls in June. But that's not all. According to the various sources, the Switch 2 will launch its games in a 3-phase strategy, starting with primarily first-party games on launch. According to sources, the second stage will arrive in October to November for third-party studios, most of which are expecting the dev kits for the Switch 2 to be sent in June. Finally, it was said that the third phase for games will be held in the holiday period. In addition to the talk of the 3-phase launch plan, Insider Gaming has also learned that select media and creators will be attending Switch 2 hands-on next week, where they'll get hands-on with the console and some of its launch games for a few hours. Man, I wish I could have gone to that. One day, chat. One day. The Nintendo Switch 2 is scheduled to be fully revealed on April 2nd, so we expect more in-depth hardware coverage and perhaps some of its launch games too. A launch price, along with the official release date, is also expected to be announced during the event. So then they reference their own article about the rumored Switch 2 Direct. So that's why I think if they do a Direct this week, which would be weird, it would just focus on stuff up to the launch of the Switch, because that's what we're going to want once next week happens. So they're probably getting some smaller announcements out of the way, maybe some remakes and re-releases, Metroid Prime 4's release date, maybe confirming it'll be Switch 2 enhanced. I don't know. Not this time, maybe. But anyway, my whole point is we're going to find out everything next week for the Switch 2 as far as the hardware goes, and maybe a couple of games. But if we do get the Direct this week, it'll be Switch 1 games only. They're not going to push anything Switch 2. So I think that kind of helps level set where we are, just on the whole. Not to get too excited. Set your expectations reasonably. But I'm looking forward to whatever they have to show. But I'm definitely looking forward to learn more about the Switch 2 hardware next week and what we can expect on launch day. That's got me excited no matter what. And I like the approach of first party having like the focus at launch. Sure, I mean, it needs third-party games, but those will come out. You know, that's not a big deal. Anyway, that's it for the game news. That's all I got time for. There, we're back at the beginning. That's all I got time for tonight. You guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out for a moment. If you enjoyed the game news, let me know down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch, I've actually got to restart the stream to go play Minecraft with my friends. So I'm going to end it and then be back. So thanks for watching.